Today on our show, we are very glad to have with us Andrea from this season of Joe Millionaire. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so good. I'm doing
Good.
amazing.
What have you been up to since the show, like that you got sent home? What have you been up to?
Yeah. So currently I'm just working on opening a third location for my coffee shop. And I've just been really consumed by that mostly, and then traveling a lot. I felt like I needed a break
Oh,
after the show. Yeah. So I
okay.
went like a month-long hiatus
Oh, well, good for
as soon as the show
you.
premiered. Yeah,
Now,
thanks.
where are you traveling to? Like, where are some of the places you've been to, like you're going to?
Um, so the premiere was on January 6th, and I flew out to California to kind of be with some of the girls. And then
Okay.
from there, I was like, I'm halfway pretty much to Hawaii, so why not go? So I ended up going
What?
to Hawaii for like I was gone for almost a month, and I just got back. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. How was it? Like, is Hawaii nice as they
Oh,
say?
my God. Have you ever been?
No, never.
You have to go. It is
Okay,
incredible.
now I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. If
I
you say I have to
Yeah,
go.
I'm back in Rhode Island and I still buy papayas for breakfast every day.
Oh
Like it's a must
my
now.
gosh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
no.
Now tell me, are you a Florida girl?
Yeah. So I kind of, yeah. So I lived in Florida for about 8 years.
You
I was out in
did.
Orlando. Yeah, and
Orlando. Okay.
yeah, and my parents recently moved to Vero Beach. So
Oh,
they live out
okay.
there now. So I'm
Very nice.
constantly, yeah.
And what
Mhm.
nationality are you, by the way? Because we're in the Greek town. We're like Greek. What nationality are you?
Ooh, I'm Romanian Macedonian.
Oh,
So
really? When you
kind
say
of Greek.
Macedonian, I was going to say, wait a minute,
Yes.
what is that supposed to mean? Yeah, Macedonian, like that we're
Yeah. It's like,
really
yes, yep. So Romania, so my father is Macedonian and Romanian. His family speaks like
okay.
Old Macedon. And then my mom is Italian Romanian. So so
Really?
I'm Romanian, Italian, and Macedonian.
Okay,
But I was
Macedonian, like
born
you
in
said,
Romania.
okay, any
Yes,
Greek
I know.
roots then?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly. So like Greek roots. Yep.
Do you speak any Greek at all? No.
I don't know. No. My
Oh,
father, he speaks and understands Macedonian.
okay.
But yeah, I
That
know,
is
but I don't.
crazy. Okay,
But I
that's
love
unexpected.
Mediterranean food. So
Oh,
good. Like this.
wow.
So I don't eat any dairy, but this morning I had like a vegan feta. I love
Oh,
like Greek food. And I had like olives. I made like a little Greek platter this morning. It was so
really?
good.
So I was going to ask you, okay, so your description on Twitter, which is very cool, award-winning and entrepreneur and restaurant developer, featured on HGTV, The Boston Globe,
Yep.
and more. Catch me on season 1 of Joe Millionaire. Fill us in more on
Yes.
all of that that's going on with you because that's amazing. HGTV, entrepreneur. Tell us about
Yes.
that.
So originally I was going to school to be a doctor, and then a lot of things happened in my life. There was a medical malpractice suit that kind of really spiraled me into a very deep, dark place. And I
Mm.
realized that I didn't that my heart and my passions didn't really lay in medicine. And so I decided to kind of find myself. And that's when I moved to Florida. I up and left, literally on a 3 days notice, told my parents I'm leaving. And then I just randomly left and started working for Disney World and kind of soaked up everything I possibly could about hospitality and the food industry. And then years later, I ended up opening my coffee shop back in Rhode Island because Hurricane Irma hit Florida and evacuated me up to Florida. I mean, up to Rhode Island. And that's when I opened my coffee shops here. So we've opened two so far, onto a third location, and then we were featured on HGTV. They came by and they did like actually I did two events with HGTV. One of them was like a giveaway, and the one they came in and like filmed for one of their shows. And then we won some awards for our milkshakes.
That
It's
is
kind of cool.
amazing. Is that
Yeah, it's
kind of
so
fated for
fun.
you or what? How did you end up like in Rhode Island? Like we said that you just told us the story. I'm like, that's very they pushed
Yeah.
you there, like fate.
So
Like that's
I
that's
I
crazy.
I 100% feel like it was fated.
It
I
was.
really
It
do.
sounds it. It
I
sounds
really
it.
do. Like I started seeing 11:11 that whole like a couple of months before. I was really going through again like a dark place. Like, what am I doing with my life? You know, you hit that age. I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
27, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I literally went through so many jobs. Like I was a real estate agent, a bartender, a
Really?
manager. Yeah, I literally went through so. I was an esthetician at one point.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
yeah, they used to
So
call me Barbie at my old job because like Barbie has like all of that. She's like everything. She's
no,
always those
yeah, I
like
was gonna
weird
say you
jobs.
do it all. What can't you do? That's wild. Good for
Yeah,
you.
it's so
Wow.
crazy. But
Wow. Now
destiny definitely brought me here.
when did you see 11:11? At what point was that you're telling me? When was 11:11?
Yeah.
27 you were
So
when? When?
So it was literally a couple months before I was supposed to come here. I'm very, very spiritual person.
You
And so
are.
I have like
Okay.
yes. So I have like archangel cards and things like that.
Oh,
And
you
I was going through a
do?
rough time with, yeah, I'm really big into that. So I was going through a really rough time with my boyfriend at the time, and we were living together. And so he was going to open the coffee shop with me, and we were going to open it in Florida. So that was the whole plan. And then it happened that week I found him cheating on me. So that was bad. I
Yeah, yeah.
physically saw it. So that was
Oh
hard. And
no.
yeah, it was very hard. And then
Okay.
after that, Hurricane Irma hit, and it was very, very bad, that hurricane. So my parents had asked me to evacuate and come home. I mean, there was a state evacuation anyways, but most,
Mhm.
you know how Floridians are. We don't
Oh,
usually leave.
oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, but my parents were like, "Please, this one's so bad. Please, we're begging you." So I flew up there, up to Rhode Island, and my friend was like, "Hey, I know you're looking to open a coffee shop in Florida, but like, I found a really cool spot in Newport. It's very touristy. It might be a great spot for you to do your first shop." And with everything going on down there, I was like, maybe I should leave Florida, leave all that behind, because my heart was so broken. And I was like,
Yeah,
and I'll
yeah.
just start the coffee shop by myself up here. And I sat down with the landlord. That was in September. And he was like, whenever you're ready to go, like, we got this. I signed the documents and I flew back up here and officially moved back in November and started building the coffee shop. Do you know Archangel Haniel? She's the moon phase angel.
Oh
Uh,
no.
so I don't know why, but her
Okay.
picture follows me around. Like, even when back in the MySpace
Really?
days. Yeah, it's weird. Like, so she's the archangel of the moon phases, so changes in the world, and then she's feminine courage. That's kind
Okay.
of like
Okay.
what she's known for. And back in the day when MySpace was a thing, my
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend at the time, I dated him for like 7 years. He had sent me a picture and was like, "Hey, this kind of looks like you and your mom. This is really cute. You should put this as your MySpace background." I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a picture of this cute angel.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
put it as my background. Years later, I think it was like 2 years later, my mom bought an Archangel deck card, and I was like sifting through it, and then she popped up. It was the same exact picture of Archangel Haniel. So I was like,
Oh,
that's weird.
come on.
Weird. And then another time, like, I remember taking the cards, I put them in like a circle. You know, as a kid, you're like doing fun things. So I put them as a circle. I had like a little pendant that was like swinging, and I had the cards all face down, and it started swinging towards one card, and I flipped it over, and it was Archangel Haniel. So I'm like, that's so weird. Like, I'm always like drawn to that one archangel. You should Google
Wow.
her.
I will. I will
It's so
actually, now that you told
strange.
me. That's cool. That's
Oh,
cool.
totally.
Okay. And then also tell us, so what was your whole experience like then on Joe Millionaire? Just like all of it, just your whole experience. What did you think?
Yeah. So Joe Millionaire, it was, oh God, it was nothing that like I ever experienced in my whole entire life. I'll tell you that. So it really forced you to have to not only dig deep and find out about the men, but you really had to start finding out more about yourself. You didn't have a phone, you didn't have computer, you had no TV, not even a book. Like, we weren't even allowed to read books. So you had to really focus in on what your feelings are and your emotions are and just talk it out. So I think for me, it was a really big self-reflection sort of moment when I was there.
Mhm.
And I think I really left there with a lot more self-love. The one thing that I do have to say, I do wish I put a little bit more effort in to actually pulling the men aside and talking to them, because I kind of like hermit crabbed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. Do you think that
I
would have
used
made
to
a
get so shy.
do you think that would have made a difference if you did kind of
I
push yourself more towards
do.
them? You do? You believe that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Because I mean, the guys would always constantly have to come and get me. So I feel
Yeah.
like if I show them a little bit more interest and say, hey, no, like, I do want to get to know you, but I was just so shy. And you always have to interrupt the other girl and be like,
You
"Hey,
always
can
have
I feel him for a
it's
second?"
it's a hard predicament you're in. I understand. And so you
Yeah.
were more so Steven, more so than Kurt, like
Um, so I was more so Steven, but only
mhm.
because I kept getting in the beginning. So a lot of the dates were by chance. Like, for example, the Yeehaw date, you know, with cowboy boots and the cotillion. So that was
Right.
kind of by chance. It's whatever you got in your box. I At that point in time, I was hoping that I could try and get to know Kurt a little bit more, but
Right.
then that experience by chance just led me to Steven again. And then at that point in time, like, Carolyn and I were roommates and we became best friends. And I was always next to her. So I was always seeing that
Oh.
connection, you know,
Mhm.
like that
Mhm.
unspoken energetical connection.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's very rare to have. And I saw it with them. And so when I saw that for them, I was like, I'm the type of person that I love love, and not just for me. I love love to see it, even if when it happens for someone else.
Right.
And so when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, that's so special. I feel like there's something there. I wasn't going to interject myself, so I never ended up going after her at all.
Oh, wow. And that's
I
nice of you as a
I
person
only think
too.
she was it.
That's nice of
I
you.
know we're all supposed to find love, but I had that one spark, that one like that they had with my previous ex. And it was
Oh,
so special.
wow.
I had never felt anything like that before except with him. So when I saw it with them, I was like, oh, I've been
Oh,
there.
wow. But how do you feel? Okay,
I
you've
know what
been
that's
there, but
like.
then it didn't work out. So how do you feel about that
Right.
connection like that? Then what do you think about that? Because I
Yeah,
know what
that's
you're talking about.
honestly,
I get that.
yeah. That's kind of what I struggle with. Even now to this day in my dating life, it's like I keep waiting for that same feeling that I had with my ex, that, I sat down and the first date I had with him, I was like, oh my God, this is my husband.
Yes,
That's how I
yes.
felt. And I have never had that since him. And so now I struggle with the fact that
Oh,
it was that really a feeling of an actual, fake connection, or was it just infatuation? And I'm starting to
hmm.
learn that, like, love, I think, needs time, and love is
Yes.
different with everybody.
I think love, like we
Yeah.
said, I'm learning that too. Like we said, I think it's more like truly getting to know the person and like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Do you ever believe in, like we said, because you're telling me you're spiritual now? Now I'm going on a roll with this. Do you ever believe in
Oh,
spiritual
that's fine.
connections? Because it
Absolutely.
could,
Yeah.
how do you know it's not like a spiritual thing of a growth? I hate using the word growth. That's like my
Oh,
pet peeve.
no, it was.
I don't like saying that, but
Yeah.
is
No,
it growth?
absolutely it was. It was.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I
Cause
think that I
yeah.
needed to learn, like, so that relationship really taught me a lot about emotional independence. Because I
Okay.
think before that, I don't know if I really had that. I was very, very, I was very cold. Not cold, but how do I put it? Like, even if something hurt me, I would never let it break me
You,
down.
I
I
get
would
that.
never really truly feel it.
You're strong and you
So,
don't show. Yeah.
in our culture, we're always like taught to be like, oh, worst things happen to other people, or like shake it off,
Right.
like
Yeah, I get that.
that's kind of that's kind of how it is. And
Yeah.
so that's how it was my whole life. And even through my other heartbreaks, like I dated someone for 7 years. When we broke up, I think I cried like half a day and I was over it. And that's 7 years of
Wow.
my life,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
this
This one
one guy, I
was
did him for like 3 years. And when we broke up and I moved up here, I mean, I cried for a year straight every day driving back home from my
wow.
coffee
Yeah,
shop.
yeah, yeah.
It was hard.
Would you,
There's a lot of emotional.
I hate to ask this, but would you, if he came back, would you go with him?
No, I can't
Okay, you
trust
wouldn't.
him.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
No, I love him as a
Okay.
person and we still communicate as friends. And I know that, like, so I don't ever blame him for the cheating, right?
Right,
Because
right, right, right.
I know I know his background, and I know how he deals with a lot of things with his family, a
Mm-hmm,
lot of
mm-hmm.
abandonment issues. And so even when he cheated on me, and it was an emotional time for both of us, that breakup, I told him, I said, it would be so easy for me to take you back because I don't want to let you go. And
Right,
I'm heartbroken right now. So it would be the selfish thing for me to do, though, because you
right.
would never grow to be the man that I know that you can be if I do that.
Yeah.
So I need to let go for you and for me both in
Wow.
order for you to become like
You're
a better
very
person.
smart. You're very
It
smart.
was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I
Yeah,
swear. I cried
yeah.
so hard.
Wow. Do you
Yeah.
find, so
He's a
then
good person.
what's like the main reason, like we said, okay, that you went on the show and then you can't find love, just all of the predicaments of these relationships? They're all growth. Because I get that. They're all like just growing
Um,
relationships. They're all, is that kind of your
right.
reasoning? Do you get that? Like, is that what,
Well, so once I went through that with him
right.
and I ended up moving to Rhode Island, I kind of got sucked into like a whole different world, which it was
Okay.
all work and a whole new, I mean, I had never run a business in my life. So it was really a lot of trial and error, and it was working long days, 17-hour days. And so I didn't even have time for love. And
Mm-hmm.
just now, like after the pandemic, I opened up a second location. I got managers and I got a good structure going. So I don't even work inside of my coffee shops now. I work from home. So
Oh,
when the show approached me, I figured, you know, now like I feel like I'm in more of a place where I'm able to give my time to someone, and why not, try it out.
yeah.
And again, I was like, I didn't apply for the show, like they DM'd me. So I was like, oh, maybe there's a reason, a deeper meaning behind
Yeah.
it. like
Well, yeah.
like everything happens for a reason. So there must be a reason I'm supposed to go on this show.
Wow. How'd they find you, you think? Like through your coffee shop? Like that?
Um,
Like why would a reality show
so
reach out like to a coffee? Like what happened? Like tell us exactly.
right. That's what I was thinking about at first too. So I know the producers, a lot of producers work on different shows. So
Hmm.
they work like with Bachelor and things like that. And so I think that what happened is I remember one time I was watching The Bachelor with my mom.
Okay.
And at the end, it was like, if you know, or if you want to be our next bachelorette or know somebody who's good for it, send in your recommendation or whatever to abccasting.com. So my mom pulled it up and was like, you should go on this show. You're amazing. You're a career woman. You know what I mean? You're beautiful. Do it. I'm going to put your name. And so she sat next to me and she literally filled out the application for me and was like, which picture does they want me to send? And I was like, are you really going to send this? And she was like, yes. So I sent it. I mean, she sent it for me. And I think maybe somehow I was somewhere in that platform.
Oh, okay. I thought
because
maybe
I had my Instagram on there.
I
So
was like something like that, or HGTV that was before, like maybe
maybe
through shows.
maybe someone
Bachelor,
saw
yeah.
me on HGTV. That otherwise, I don't know what other reason. I don't think I know anybody else that I don't even watch reality TV. I don't even watch any TV actually.
That's wild.
So-
And you did it.
Yeah. So I don't know how I ended up on there. Fate.
Wow. Yeah, that is fate. That is
Yeah.
fate. Would you think though, like
Yeah.
if you did end up with like Kurt or Steven, do you feel like it would have been right for you? Because like now you're out, you're not with them. Like, do you feel like it would have been right if it ended up that way? Either or.
I think I would have made it work. Obviously, when you're there, you only get to see a snippet of that person. And then
Right.
you're going to have to go into real world and have to go back to your life and your work. So I would have tried to make it work,
Yeah.
but looking at their lives, I don't know if we really would have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Are you shocked who's rich, who's poor? The rich or poor? Like, are you shocked who's
Yeah,
the millionaire?
Yeah. So I thought the whole time, Kurt was the millionaire.
Yeah.
Like I always said that because his energy, he acts like I don't care what you got to say to me. Like I have millions in the bank, girl. You know what I mean? And so I was like, that's the millionaire. He's got BDE. That's him. And I was wrong. But you know what? If you look at my past relationships, I mean, obviously you can tell I'm like not good at picking men. So.
Oh no, you're not good.
They're really good at reading people.
Do you think a lot of the
Clearly.
girls in the house are like after the money aspect are really looking for love? I mean, you were there, like.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the girls are very, very self-sufficient. They all have their own careers and they're very successful women. So when we were there, none of us even knew we were going on a show that was, anything about money.
Yeah.
We were all told it was supposed to be this love for real show, a show about taking away, your phones and everything else and focusing on love. So I don't think any of the girls were really motivated by the money.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win then? Like for each, like who do you think Kurt's going to pick? Steven? Like.
I don't know, but I can tell you, just stay tuned because it's shocking.
Okay.
That's all.
So you don't have an opinion.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But definitely, stay tuned because it shocked me. I don't know if the viewers will be shocked, but I know it shocked me. I'm friends with all the women, so
yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, the connections, what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I know a lot.
Wow.
It's
okay.
Interesting.
Did you see anyone like Carolyn? Like we said, she was close with Kurt. Did you see any other connections in the house that you were like, wow, there's a spark?
Yeah, honestly, there were kind of little sparks everywhere. I feel like I saw a spark with Steven and Annie.
With
I
Annie.
saw a spark. Yep, Steven and Annie I saw a spark with. Honestly, I feel like Bria and Steven had a little bit of a connection and it was blooming a little bit.
Yeah.
Little by little. I think she would have been such a great pick for him too.
Yeah.
Like they have the both sort of like the country background. And I remember one time we were after the Yeehaw date, we were all on the bus back to the mansion and we put on country music and Brianna was like lip singing, but she was singing the songs like literally word for word. She knew every song. And like Steven was so enamored by her at that point, and he was like, "Oh my!" It was like he was like falling in love because she knew all the country songs.
Wow.
So it was really cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the
That was
dancing?
really
The dancing that you did with Steven?
Yeah.
The lap dancing, like the lap.
Oh, my lap dance. Oh yes, my lap dance. I forgot about my lap dance. So I didn't even I was so nervous in the moment. It was like I blacked out and then came back. But it's like I blacked out, became a stripper, and then it came back because it was actually pretty good. Like it was actually kind of good.
Oh my.
I shocked myself. I was like watching it and I was like, okay, go girl. It was really interesting.
Did you have any more memorable moments like that really stood out that you're like, oh my God, I had such a good time like on the show?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, honestly, there were so many times that I felt like, I don't know, I had such a good time with the girls. There were moments that it weren't such a good time, like the glamping part. I was freezing that whole night,
Oh
covered in
my.
mud, crickets and spiders in my tent. And like me being like the vegetarian that I am, like I was trying to like scoop up the spiders and the crickets and like throw them out so that nobody would kill them. So it was like interesting. But just being in the house, honestly, was really amazing. And just being with like the girls and chilling out by the pool. It was almost like a little mini vacay. And then like the boys would always pop in like a surprise. So it was kind of like cool, you know?
What
It
did
was
you
like fun.
what did you think of them when you first met them? Did you think they were cute? Did you think anything of
Yeah.
them? Yeah.
Yeah. So the casting had asked me, you know, if you could tell us what your perfect man would be. And I'm like, I don't really know what my perfect man is because literally, I mean, I date like like pretty much all races and all backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
So I said like, but I said like physically, I think like Colton Underwood is very handsome at that time. That's what I said. And I was like, I'd like to get like, because I was thinking like who as a bachelor on The Bachelor who I thought was handsome. I was like Colton, and then when Steven came out, I was like, okay, like pretty close,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of Colton-ish. And then Kurt came out, and he was a completely different person than Steven. So it's so like such a total shift in energy because Kurt was just like he was like a Christian Grey. And like then we got like the sweetheart Colton Underwood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get
That's
that.
kind of how I would describe it.
Yeah. Now tell me, what did you think? Because there's mixed reactions about the coins. Are they good or bad? What do you think of them? And Jenny, like, you know, it could be good and bad
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
And what do you think about the coins?
Right. So at first I thought the coin was a good thing. At first I thought it was a trick. It was like,
Okay, yeah.
this must be like a coin you're getting eliminated thing. And I was gonna be like, well, there you go. You know, you never know when that happens.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I wanted to use the coin the day of the camping. I had
Right.
this whole plan out that I wanted to do this thing under the stars and be romantic. But then that whole drama happened that I forgot I even brought the coin. So I was like, what coin? And then they were like, during the next day, it was my birthday actually the next day. And they were like, oh, there's going to be an elimination tonight. Make sure you have a gold coin. And I was like, oh my God, the gold coin. They're like, yeah, hope you don't regret not using your gold coin. And I was like, here we go. That's it. I'm going home.
Yep.
I was like, it has to be me.
Oh my God. You know what? As watching you go on the show, I was surprised they did not keep you. Like, I'm just honestly saying this, like, sincerely, like, I'm just shocked. Like, I literally, like, you have so many possibilities and like, you're like a good like, I just see so much potential in you and then with them. And I just was kind of stunned. Why not? Yeah. I don't know how you felt. I was just kind of like stunned at that.
Yeah.
So what was your reaction on that? Like, why?
I feel like I do feel like it's because I didn't really put in that much effort. I think it's because I was so shy when it came to pulling the men aside. And I was very focused on like, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And there was a lot of that. So I was like, I wasn't really thinking about myself, I guess, when I was on there.
Right.
You know, I became kind of like the mom of the house and taking care of everyone. And so I think that's kind of what happened. And I ended up being like, telling like Steve, like, do you want me to make you a burger? Like the guys would be like, I'll bring you food. So it was kind of like I ended up switching a role of like friend zoning myself. So maybe that's kind of was because I think there was initial sparks between both of the men and I. Right. And then I think I kind of like subconsciously maybe pushed it away.
Okay.
So yeah.
I didn't know if you were misjudged a little bit with the red carpet, the videos, the things, maybe something like that you were taken the wrong way. And I'm like, maybe.
Right. So I didn't think that I was until I watched that episode.
Yes. When you watch it.
Yeah. Until I watched actually the glamping episode when they eliminated me. And he said, Andreea seems to be a little materialistic.
Yes.
That's what Steven said.
Yes.
Which is funny because if you go in my closet, I have no designer purses, no designer shoes. I literally have nothing designer ever. I'm the least materialistic person that you'll meet. Like, I don't spend money on things. I like to spend money on experiences. I think memories are more important.
Yeah, yeah.
So even that day, I ended up like tweeting Steven, and I was like, pretty shocked that you thought that I was materialistic. I don't know where you got that idea.
Exactly.
I was like, everything I do for my family and my business. I put it back because my family works for my business. So, you know.
But you can tell right away. I'm like, she's kind of not, because when you talk to him, I'm like, you're not like you can tell, it's obvious. So you have to have a good judge of character to know that you're not. You could tell the way you were speaking to him was so nice, and you were saying such mature, like, intellectual things, and it's like, that's what just kind of like was kind of to me confusing a little bit.
You're talking about the conversation with Kurt, the last conversation that I had with him.
The last conversation that you had, yes.
Yeah, the last conversation I had with him was actually a really long one. I think it was about like 35 minutes, so we only saw a snippet of that. It wasn't very so it was a very intimate conversation, and we connected on so many levels. But I think that at that point, I had pushed Kurt away for so long that I think he felt like maybe I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's really what happened.
Right. Yeah. Right. But it was something subconsciously you did that you kind of pushed them away. It wasn't anything that
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't anything like that. And I mean, I feel like I do have a lot of time now, like where I work from home and I travel a lot. So I could have like made it work, and like, I would be fine traveling every week and seeing, my boyfriend in a different state. That'd be totally fine with me.
Right.
But yeah, it just didn't work out that way. I mean, honestly, everything happens for a reason. So I feel like maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's right. You got to look at it that way.
But I'm still good friends with the boys. And I mean, I would totally be down to be business partners any day.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. And it's an experience. Like that being on the show is like so cool. We look forward to Thursdays. We're like, yes, Joe Millionaire Day. We're just so excited. We're like, yay.
I still look forward to Thursdays. Like I'm not even on anymore. And I'm just like, okay, like I'm usually on like FaceTime with Carolyn because she's like my bestie now. So like we're on FaceTime, like, girl, like what the hell? It's crazy.
That's fun. Carolyn, real quick, sorry to dabble into Carolyn real quick. Does she have like a bad rep sometimes? Like I feel like sometimes she has like that bad image kind of like that. Like she's just like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because you're friends with her. Like, can you tell us just like describe her a little bit to the people so people get an idea of who she is really?
She is so beautiful and amazing. Like as a person inside and out. She is literally the best mom ever. Every time we FaceTime, I FaceTime with her and her son. And she's just always there. I mean, she's just an amazing person. She's very like spiritual as well. I swear we call each other soul sisters. We're so alike. We're like the same person. So I mean, yeah, she's incredible. So I think we don't really get to see the real Carolyn on the show. I mean, we see snippets of it, but it's hard too, because you're seeing Carolyn who's in love. You're seeing Carolyn who's getting hurt, who's emotional, right? And that part of a person is not who they are as a person in whole, right? I mean, how many times have we gone through a heartbreak and, we were jealous at that moment or whatever it may be. That doesn't mean that that's who we are all the time. And that's who we are in person. That just means that you're human. And I think that the fact that she did, feel a certain way just shows that she really was there for him and that she really did have feelings for him.
You said now at this point, like, so you're just busy traveling, doing your work, you're not dating currently, or unless if someone came along, something like that, you'd be interested maybe?
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah. I'm always open to love. I love love.
Okay.
But yeah, totally. Everyone can slide in my DM.
Is there someone in particular, like we say, is there someone that you'd like to slide in your DMs? Anybody that you kind of
I mean, not particularly anyone of interest, like famous? I mean, I don't even know.
Anybody, I guess. Okay, it could be someone of your type. It doesn't have to be like a name, or it could be a name like a celebrity crush, anybody.
No, I think I love a man who is like assertive. I love a man who's like business oriented, family oriented, that kind of guy. Like I love a man who takes charge. And I think that's what I look for, because I have to be a boss all the time in my life.
Yeah.
That like, I'm a very dominant person. And for me to be submissive, I need a man who's also like more dominant than me.
I agree. But isn't that kind of rare? Yeah. Isn't that rare to find?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That's my problem. Every time I date a man, like I always end up taking charge. Like, hey, I planned our dates. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Where do you usually date? Like, where do you usually date or like go out like to find guys? Like,
that's the problem. I think that's my problem, is I don't go out.
Okay.
So I can't like, I mean, it's like I'm expecting this guy to like deliver my mail one day or something. Like I never go out. So I think I need to put myself out there more. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, I should probably go out more.
Okay. Oh,
But
I'm
all
like
my
you
friends
though.
are taken. Who am I gonna go out with now? You know?
Who's taken? Oh, sorry, I
All
didn't
my
hear you.
friends are married with babies.
Oh, they are. Oh, wow. That's tough. So is that you want to get married one day then? Like you'd like to get married?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a big family. I love that. I have a big family, come from a big family, and I'm very close. Like my mom and my dad are like, I would say like best friends to me. They had me really young. They had me when they were like 20. And my brother and my sister are also very, you know, we're very, very close family. And so I would love to have that myself. I'd love to be best friends with my husband and have like 4 kids and a big house, and that's the dream.
That's
I'm
nice.
getting old, so
how old are you, by the way?
32. My eggs
32.
are drying up, so I don't know how long it's gonna be. I think, like, I guess in retrospective, it all worked out the way it was supposed to be.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, just waiting for my Prince Charming to come.
I agree. But yeah.
Something. My mom's a medium though, so like every time I bring a guy home,
Oh,
she like already reads everything. Yeah, so she reads everything about him. She'll tell me in the moment, like she'll tell me like, oh, this guy's like the one where I was like super in love with. She told me like he is your soulmate, but not the kind that you think.
What type
Like
of
she said,
soulmate? So what did she say?
So she said like you guys are you need to be together. Like your soulmates, like for example, like we were in past lives together, but we're not meant to be together here. Like we're not going to end up together. Right. So we're just supposed to learn from one another because it's something that we needed to learn from our past life together.
Oh, there it is. So not in this lifetime, they say, like not in this lifetime, you're not gonna be with this person.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. She can't find your husband though? Like she can't be like a site like a
so she tries not to read me because she knows me personally.
Okay.
So she like doesn't want to read, you know what I mean? So she doesn't read me because she's my mom. But like if I bring a guy home, she'll tell me like that's not the one. Not him. Or I'll show her a picture like.
But don't you get like not upset? I don't mean it like that. Like, okay, then it's over. If she says no, then that's not your you trust your mom. Is it not your person?
No. No, I tried to prove her wrong.
Okay.
I tried to I'm like, no. You're wrong. Okay, good. I love this.
Did she read Stephen and Kurt there? Did she read them?
Well, so she didn't, because I didn't know who they were, in the meantime. But afterwards, she was like, "Yeah, honey, no way. These men are not for you." Yeah.
Does she know? Like, what? No, I'm not saying to say. Does she know who's gonna be with them?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. She's yeah. Well, you know what it is? She can read people through a photo. Like you could show a picture of someone and and my mom will be like, okay, she's like this. Yeah, or like he's like that. Because I've showed pictures like, oh, I've been talking to this guy online, and I like show her a picture. She's like, oh God, don't show me his picture anymore. And I'm like, why? She's like, he lies. He's lying about his life. Yeah. And she's like, I know. She's like, I'm like, yeah, but he said this. She's like, honey, no, he's lying. No, she's right. She's always right. I'm like,
she's good. She's good.
And I would be like, you're just mean because I was younger. That was like, you just don't want me to be with him because you just don't like him.
You're just saying that.
Yeah. No, she was not wrong. Yeah. Have you heard about your 3 loves?
No, what 3 loves? What do you mean 3 loves?
So they say you only have, like, you might have relationships throughout your life, but you only have 3 loves in your life.
3
That's your first love.
Okay, first love. Okay.
That's your first love. So your first love is like your puppy love. It's like where you learn what love is pretty much. That for me was my 7-year relationship. Okay. And then you have your second love, which is the most tumultuous love. It rips you apart. It breaks your heart. It's toxic. It's very, very, it's just very bad, but it's the one where you learn the most about yourself. Okay. You become the person you need to be through that one. And then the third love is your true love, and they come in last, and that's the person that you're with forever.
So you've done 2 then?
I guess so, yeah. Well, I mean, there were some in between.
Okay. No, not like that. I'm saying the 2 that we're talking about, then you just haven't met the third, obviously, then the true love. Like
Yeah. The forever love.
Okay.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But that's what they say. So
yes, I actually have heard that. Yes, and that makes sense. I do believe that too. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Have you tried?
I do too.
Yeah. Have you tried anything like we said, manifesting, doing things like that, or do you kind of like not to tamper and do you just like it naturally to occur, like love?
Yeah. So I manifest a lot. I always do like a vision board every January. Yeah. And I put it, and it's funny, like last January, before I even got contacted for the show, I put a mansion on there. And the mansion was extremely similar to the mansion I lived in. And then there was a girl and there was a camera filming her. But I put on there because I wanted to start a YouTube channel. But it just so
What?
happened that, the girl with the camera, like she's in front of the camera, like, and someone's filming her with like an actual professional camera. So that ended up transpiring into like being on the show. So
That's
it was like
wild.
very weird.
Alrighty, well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I had such a fun time talking to you.
Me too, me too.